Welcome back to another round of Holistic Cat Care Live Q&A. I am Pam with Purrrfectly Holistic, and I am so excited to be back with you guys tonight. Wherever you may be watching us from, hop on over to YouTube, Facebook, or even our Instagram platform if you guys have questions tonight, because we are here to talk to you and answer your questions. If you are struggling with any particular issue with your cat, you want some tips or advice, if you want to talk about food or supplements that might be beneficial or helpful for whatever your cat is dealing with at the time, then definitely come on in and drop some comments. And if you are watching live, tell me where you're watching from. I love to see where our audience is tuning in from all over the world. And I don't know if you can see him or not, but I do have Gunner here with us tonight. So Gunner is hanging out in my lap wanting some extra attention. So he is here to give support and get some affection while we do this. So I wanted to just say it's been a month since we were here last. I hope you have had a great month, and I really hope that you guys have a wonderful 4th of July weekend ahead of you. Just a real quick reminder, fireworks and cats don't really get along very well. As you know, most cats get really, really scared. So if you are going to be in an area where there is fireworks, I would start preparing now with some, if you have any calming CBD or calming herbs like cat calm, flower essences that can be calming, start them now, get them into your cat system, and then prepare tomorrow to put on some quiet, not quiet music, but like calming music in the background, and give your cat some designated space that can help them feel safe. So if that is like an internal closet in your home or a bathroom or somewhere where they're less susceptible to hear all the noise from the fireworks, definitely start planning now, because with 4th of July being on a weekend this month or this year, it's likely that we're going to have fireworks all weekend. So I'm preparing my kitties now to be prepared, and they get very, very nervous hearing all the noises, and it's very frightening, even though I'm in an area that they're not supposed to be shooting fireworks. As you can probably relate, there's always those people. You know what I'm talking about. So I wanted to say hi to Vicki from West Virginia. How are you and your babies? I hope you guys are doing well. So let's talk about cat care. What questions do you guys have? If you have any questions, this will be a very short show if you do not. So I'm just here with you, giving you my time, and would love to see how I can support you as best as possible, or whatever you want to talk about with your cat. So Vicki, let me know if you have any questions. She says, we're good. Oh, awesome. And I wanted to see how the outdoor mama kitty is doing. I can't remember her name, sorry. So how is she doing? And have you been able to get close to her babies yet? They were so cute in that picture you sent me. So hopefully they can be tamed. It's kind of hard when you have feral kitties. Jazzy is her name. Yes. Okay. So yeah, let me know how she's doing. Whoops. It's a little sneeze over here. So anyway, hello, Bonnie. I am so happy to see you here and sending you and your boys a big hug. I'm looking forward to helping you with a session for Prince. So he's on my list. Thank you very much. So yeah, let me know. Do you have any plans for the weekend? Are you guys going out of town? Are you doing anything special, or just hanging home, staying close to the house like me? So I can keep an eye on these kids and make sure they're happy, and maybe do some play sessions and keep them distracted as much as I can. Vicki says, no, I still haven't been able to touch them. But they're so cute. Maybe, does she bring them up to eat when you feed her? I'm just curious, because I know we haven't talked about this much, but it'd be interesting if she did start bringing them up to your house when you feed her. And then maybe that would give you more opportunities. So yeah, not sure there, but how cool would that be? You could start taming those babies. Bonnie says she's going to eat barbecue, working a couple hours, and hanging out with the guys and distracting them. Yep, I think that's a good plan. I like that a lot. I'm trying to think what else might be going on. Um, let me think. Oh, while we're here, let's talk about some events that we have going on for the month of July here at Perfectly Holistic. Our radio show this month, my guest is going to be Jessica Fisher, and we might be getting a little spicy, but we have a really interesting topic. Um, she says, go to CatCon. Is that this weekend? I don't remember. I don't keep up with that, being over here in Texas. Um, Anyway, back to the radio show. We're going to be talking about the hypocrisy in the pet food industry. So there's a lot of controversy from big pet food brands, veterinary brands, all those kinds of brands that tend to poo-poo the raw food, fresh food, gently cooked food markets, and people who want to feed their pets fresh food. Um, so yeah, it's going to be a very interesting show, and it might be get a little spicy because she and I have a lot of information to share about this, and just want to get some factual, truthful information out there. So, okay, so Bonnie's going to CatCon August 1st and 2nd. That'll be fun. That's a month away. Wow. Okay. And hello, Jody. And she says, meows from the Campbell clan. Oh, meows back to you. And I hope your animal communication session with Kate was great. Hope you got some helpful information there from your kids. Okay, so let's see what else. Okay, besides the radio show, yeah, hold on. Bonnie says, oh, Lord, that's a big subject. They need a new pet food movie. I know, right? I saw an article about Cole Harrington just recently that he went and got his law degree, I think from a university in Louisiana. There's a law school over there, and that he's going to be, I think, using his degree to help with the whole pet food industry. At least that's what was kind of alluded in the article. So it'd be interesting to see. Um, so Vicky says, she goes, I feed them out the edge of my yard. They run over to the edge into the weeds. She doesn't come up to the house to eat now that I'm feeding all of them. Oh, okay. So you feed them over on the edge. I wonder if you could start like moving the food closer and closer to your house so they get more used to being around you. Just a thought. And okay, so back to what I was saying. So our other show this month is with Dr. Barry Sands, and we are going to be talking about sound therapy. All the amazing ways we can provide sound healing for pets, and she's going to talk about some singing bowls and some things that she's been learning and practicing and experimenting with. So it's going to be really, really interesting because pets are super, super sensitive to sounds and frequencies, and they respond beautifully. So join us later this month for a topic on sound therapy for pets. Mercedes is here. She says, I have questions about the vaccine detox protocol. We completed the 3 weeks on the chlorella, cilantro, and burdock root supplement, but I continued both past that time while waiting for the next shipment, of supplements. I neglected to do either the last few days. I know I was supposed to continue with the burdock root, but I know she's probably still typing. Burdock root is one of those that can open drainage pathways nicely, but you don't have to do it forever during a detox process. So once you have the drainage pathways open, usually 2 to 3 weeks is plenty. You can back off on that and stop that, but continue like the heavy metal chemical binders. So that's what I would continue to do. If there are vaccines involved, you need to get the vaccine remedies specifically for the vaccines that your cat has had. So that's my general answer on that. And as far as how long to do the chemical and heavy metal detox portion, it really depends on how much exposure your cat has had. Like, how many vaccines have they had in their lifetime? How many flea and tick medication topicals have they had in their lifetime? Things like that. Do they get exposed to glyphosate? What's their diet like? So you have to just take a take a bird's eye view, and you can't go too long for that kind of stuff because it takes weeks, if not months, to fully pull all those toxins out of the body. So again, depending on how long and how much exposure your cat has had to those kinds of toxins, it could be 6 to 14 to 16 weeks of just the heavy metal toxin binding step. So that would be my suggestion as far as that goes. But yeah, does that make sense? So let me know if that makes sense for you. Jody says, Kate is an awesome communicator. So glad she's part of your team. I totally agree. She is so talented, and I love her to pieces. And she's been very busy lately with sessions, which I'm very happy about. Vicky says, I got in touch with our local rescue yesterday, and they're going to help me get them trapped and fixed before we get any more kittens. Good. Okay. Now the question is, do you think they're young enough to be socialized and rehomed? Or are they going to trap, return them and, just let them be feral kitties? So that's a question you would need to consider at this point with them. So I think we're caught up here on comments. Mercedes, let me know if you have any questions about what I answered. She says, I didn't catch everything you just said, but we'll go back and listen to it. I have the rest of the supplements now. I don't know his vax protocol before 2 years ago. He was given every vax. Of course they were. Assume if he was in a shelter or a rescue that he's probably been vaccinated multiple times. If he was rehomed at least once, maybe from kittenhood, he probably got all of his kitten shots and maybe a rabies vaccine, depending on where he was. Shelters are notorious, and I mean notorious, for just over-vaccinating their animals without doing any testing first. So, and she said the front line slathered on him against my will. Ugh, about a year ago. That is so terrible. It wouldn't hurt to do it for 3 months, given all of that you do know. Do it for 3 months. Just take some time, and then do the vaccine remedies for sure. So, yeah, if you need specific help on that, you can follow the guidelines. If you got the vaccine detox program out of my website, follow those recommendations because that is pretty accurate in general for most cases. She says he probably did get all his shots regularly. His previous family was a huge proponent of vaccines. Oh, that's great. Okay, well, thank God he's with you now. But yes, 3 months of not the burdock root, but the chlorella cilantro tincture, yes, I would definitely do 3 months of that. The burdock root is really for opening drainage pathways, and once they're open, they're good. You don't need to keep doing the burdock root forever, okay? Focus on the heavy metal chemical detox. It's a binder. So it binds those toxins that are from the body, and it pushes them out through the urine. Kit is here from Vancouver. Hello, how are you? Let me just make sure I didn't miss any other questions. Oh, Vicky says they're going to help me. Okay, the rescue she's working with is going to help me get them adopted. Oh, that's awesome. They're so cute. She said, Mercedes says, okay, thank you. So wait on the rest of the supplements. I don't know what supplements you are referring to. Can you tell me what supplements you're referring to? And then I can answer. Basically, you don't have to wait to do additional supplements when you're just using a toxin binder. A toxin binder is just going to bind toxins. And you can do that. You can do that throughout the year intermittently for a regular detox. You can do it specifically for this kind of, focused detoxification. And as far as the rest of the Vax detox protocol, it really depends on what supplements you're going to use. You're going to want to use the homeopathic remedies that are specific to the vaccines he was given, and that's in the program. And the Vax detox protocol Follow that. Follow those steps. Okay. And then any other supplements that you want to use, like if it's ion gut support for gut lining, which if any cat has had multiple vaccines and flea tick meds, you're going to want to put them on ion gut support for pets. It seals gut lining and helps heal leaky gut issues. Um, if you're doing omega-3 oils, obviously those are wonderful antioxidants. You can add that to food or diet at any time. So you don't have, that doesn't have to be a separate issue. Anything like probiotics or additional, antioxidant type supplements that you want to use, gut health supplements, you can do those at any time. Most of that goes in the food anyway. So, yeah, as long as you've done at least 3 weeks of burdock root just to open drainage pathways, you can do the vaccine remedies. So you should be good to go from there. Okay, so she goes, I have them. Okay, so I can go ahead and follow the rest of the protocol while keeping them on. Yes, keep him on you're gonna need to keep him on that chlorella cilantro detox for quite a while. Okay. Yeah, so you don't have to wait to do the vaccine remedies. You can do those now once the drainage pathways are open. You've done your burdock root for 2-3 weeks. You should be good to go and not have any problems with those vaccine remedies. Because it's probably just going to be a couple days for each of those, and just do one at a time. Just let the body focus on doing one at a time. It just, detoxification needs to be spread out over time in order to be gentle and to be the most effective. We can't just throw everything at once. That's why we spread things out. And honestly, it just takes time for the body to heal. It'd be great if we could just do one and done and go to bed and wake up tomorrow and I'll be finished, but that's not reality, and our bodies don't work like that. And our cats don't work like that either. So we just have to spread things out. We have to be patient and just know that it takes time, which is okay, And so just follow the steps and be consistent the best you can. That's really the best advice. Just be consistent. And don't worry if you miss a day or two here and there because you go out of town or a holiday or something, just pick up where you left off. It's not a big deal. Okay. And Bonnie says, any recommendations for small cell lymphoma of the tummy? Jasper is on vitamin B12. Excellent. A probiotic a few times a week. Milk thistle, kidney support a few times a week. And he's on Nexvomica and Arnica montana. Okay. With that kind of condition, you might want to look at test to see if glutathione would be helpful or beneficial for that kind of situation. It is a master antioxidant of the body. It supports the liver. It supports the immune system. So with a cat with small cell lymphoma, my spidey senses are saying that might be a better option than milk thistle. And like any gut health supplement, like a combo gut health supplement, I'm thinking of a couple, and the one that I have in my shop is the Thorn Vet Gut Health Formula. It's a combination of amazing herbs and stuff that help heal gut lining and gut just overall. And then the other one would be Feline Gut Soothe from Adored Beast. So something like that. And then mushrooms, medicinal mushrooms. Actually, you know what? There's a product that I have called Motherboard by Vengeance. I think I recommended this to you a while back. Motherboard, it's like, it's transfer factor polypeptide. So it is the power behind colostrum. And it's got micronized, it's got quercetin, which we know is an amazing antioxidant. It's got mushrooms in it. It's got omega-3s in it. So you're getting this powerhouse of antioxidant support with the power of transfer factor. And it kind of re-educates the immune system. So that might be that might be even better because of it. It like goes a little further behind the scenes to work, if that makes sense. So that might be something to consider. It's really an amazing product. You could use it alongside everything else that you're doing. And the cool thing is it tastes like water. So he's not gonna balk at it or anything like that. So you know how cats can be. If it tastes funny, they're like, no, thank you. So that's what I love about the Vengeance. And you just put it in the food. So wet food diet, awesome. Just add it to the food. I like to divide the dose twice a day, and you can actually give 2 or 3, even 4 times the general recommended dose for the Vengeance products based on whatever condition is going on. So that's something that you can consider as well. Yeah, ask your vet about the glutathione. And there are basically human glutathione liquid products. And for a cat, it would be like 1 or 2 drops. And I'll just warn you, it smells like eggs. But it's not eggs, it's glutathione. Doesn't smell great, but if you can mask it in something that he likes that smells good, he probably won't even know it's there. But we're talking, 1 or 2 drops. So she says he needs very small doses of everything. Yeah, and it's something that you could, if you're dividing his supplements out over the day instead of trying to just do it twice a day with meals or whatever, put something in treats. If you're doing like 3 or 4 times, a snack, a meal, a snack, a meal, or whatever, you have plenty of opportunity to hide stuff like that. Lucy Buddy is here. She said, my vet recommended ion gut support for people for my cats because the cat version has silicon in it. What do you think about silica? It's silica. And actually, that's a great question. The silica makes this product more beneficial for cats. And the reason I know that is because when I muscle test it, the people version for pets, I always get no, the body doesn't want it. But if I muscle test the pet version of that product, their body always wants it. So there is something about the silica, not silicon, silica in it. I wouldn't use the people version for the pet. I would use the pet version. It's designed specifically for pets. So Kiki says, how do you spell it? Tell me what it is and I'll tell you. Are you referring to a supplement I was talking about? Or what were we talking about, Kit? And I'll tell you. Vicky says, I messaged you pictures of the outside babies. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I can't see them right now because we're live. Princess and the Boys. Oh my God, thank you so much for being here. She is here. And I hope I said that right. Bois? Is that Bois? Princess and the Bois? If it's French, that's probably how I would say it. Okay, the Vengeance supplement. Okay, thank you. It's called Motherboard. Just like a computer program has a motherboard that like writes the program, that's why he calls it Motherboard. It writes the program for the immune system. So it teaches and educates the immune system. It's kind of like a major reset. So if you go to shop.purrrfectlyholistic.com and you look under immune support, you'll find Motherboard, or you can just type Motherboard where the question mark is. If the search for the site, just type in Motherboard, you'll go right to it. And I think I have one more in stock, but I have a whole shipment coming in because I love this product. So if any cat that has, or dog that has like a compromised immune system with problems, like really serious issues, then I would definitely consider using Motherboard. And Lucy says the ingredients online says silicon. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. It's okay. If it's silicon, it's silicon. But my answer is still the same. So if it's muscle testing, always the pet version always resonates for the pets, and the human version does not. So there's something about the ingredient, something about that ingredient that makes it more effective, and maybe the body recognizes it and can use it better. This is a humic acid product, soil-based product that's loaded with trace minerals, and it doesn't taste like anything. It's like slightly salty, but it tastes like water. Um, so yeah, it's an excellent product, but I would definitely go with the pet version because it was formulated for pets and they added that ingredient for a reason. So yeah, and we carry that also under gut health at shop.perfectlyholistic.com, and I have a lot in stock. So yeah, I could get that out to you. Um, let's see. Yeah, let me make sure I didn't miss anything over here. Let me go to Instagram. You guys are awesome. Let's see. Um, oh, and I also wanted to say, Lucy, in terms of your question about the ion for pets, all the holistic integrative vets that I know, and I actually learned about the ion product from Holistic Vet, they always recommend the pet version. And they have these are people who have done a ton of research and they have really good relationships with um, intelligence of nature. And I've been with them. I've had their products now for probably, gosh, 5 years. I want to say 5 years. It's an excellent product, and it's also really good for helping to protect from things like glyphosate in the environment. It kind of helps bind toxins because of the trace minerals and the humic acid as a binder. So yeah, it's just a great product. And if you want one for yourself, they do make a people version. I just don't carry that one. But it's great for any kind of gut health problem. So if you have leaky gut, if your pet has leaky gut, that is a no-brainer. You've got to get on it. As well as kidney problems. So if your cat has kidney issues, get them on the ion because the the way that this product works, it seals the cell wall in the intestinal lining to stop that leaky, but it also does the same kind of thing in kidney cells. It protects the cellular membrane. And I also noticed, or was did a recent show with Dr. Katie Kangas, and she was saying how this product also helps with like sinus issues. And they make actually a nose spray that I have, and it's really good. And so it helps heal all the sinus tissue as well. So it's just a really good product. Jody says some pet human product ingredients are exact same. So why would the pet test better than humans? Um, for example, Mycodog Vitality. Um, why would the pet test better than human for pets? I am not familiar. Does Mycodog have a human product as well? Is that what you're saying? Um, Now, I know that Vengeance, their brand, originally started off with, I think it was for people. And so they created a pet line. And it is the exact same thing, but they put it in different bottles. So it's marketed one to pets, one for people. I'm not familiar. I mean, I know Myco Dog Vitality and Myco Cat. Um, Sometimes people feel, maybe it's more of a marketing thing, Jody, because sometimes people feel better buying a product that's labeled for a cat or for a dog than a human product, even though it might be the exact same thing. Now, in Ion, it's not the exact same thing. That is, silicone is the only difference in that particular product between the human and the pet version. So does that answer your question? Sometimes it's really about the marketing. And that's also why some brands make a cat line and a dog line. It might be the exact same ingredients, but some people who have a cat don't want to buy a product that labeled for a dog, and vice versa. So, um, you know, that's just how some people's brain works. But if you know that it's the same thing or it's beneficial and it's safe or whatever for use in cats or people or dogs or whatever, it's all the same thing, then you just go with your gut. Buy what you need to buy. Um, Let me see. Okay, just checking over here on Instagram. Thank you guys for joining us. Let us know if you guys on Instagram have any questions for me about cat stuff. Bonnie says you got to use critical thinking. Yeah, and again, I really think like sometimes it just comes down to marketing. Um, like there is a brand that I have that I was talking to at Super Zoo last year, and they said, "Oh, we're going to develop our own cat line. We're going to like split the products and have one labeled for dog and one for cat." And I was like, "Why would you do that?" Just it's the same product. Put both images clearly on the bottle and don't waste your money developing two different lines. To me, and it was recommended from it like an outside consultant person. And I was just like, that just doesn't even make sense. But if you, again, I think it goes back to your marketing and it goes back to your labels. If all they see is a dog on it, but it's good for cats and there's a little tiny photo of a cat but a bigger picture of a dog, well of course people are going to see the dog picture first. But if you make it very clear and you put both images on the same product and label it dogs and cats, why would you go spend the money and like waste a lot of money having two separate lines when they're the exact same thing? That's just my 2 cents. That's how I think. Like Bonnie says, use critical thinking. So I don't know, Jody, did that answer your question? Um, but I think that's probably why. Like the Myco dog versus Myco cat, I think they're probably the same thing. Some people just want to know that, hey, it's for cat versus dog. Um, so yeah, that's my thoughts on that so far. Okay, let's see. Let me get a sip of water. Check. Over here. Okay, so we are caught up. Well, guys, if you don't have any more questions, we can wrap things up. It's 7:30 my time. Um, one more comment over here. Bonnie says, I use human grade CBD, but check with you or muscle test it for my guys. Yeah, CBD is a totally different animal. There are so many ingredients that are in human versions of CBD that pets should not have. So I've heard this from people in the pet space that develop products with CBD for pets, and they say use a pet version of CBD if you're going to have it for it. Like even cat versus dog, that's where it can be very, very different. And I'm not an expert in the CBD, science side of things, but I know people who are, and they recommend if you have a cat, use a cat version. If you have a dog, use a dog version because there might be some kind of difference in what cats can tolerate versus dogs. And I would definitely not use a human CBD for a pet. It's just not when they can go really targeted. It just makes it simpler when you've got a label with a recommendation and guideline for a pet based on weight and that sort of thing. It can just be less confusing and less muddy water. You can get more clarity on specifics of what can help for them. So that's my 2 cents, just from what I've learned from people like Angie Arbolino and Dr. Robert Silver, who develop CBD products for pets. Okay. Lucy says, I just recently heard that heart has taurine. Yes. So I shouldn't be worried if taurine isn't listed in the ingredient list as long as heart is in there. That is correct. They are using heart as a food source of taurine. So yes, that is true. Like certain brands who are really, really known for using whole food ingredients instead of like synthetic supplements or organic supplements, they'll use whole foods to fulfill those vitamin, mineral, and amino acid requirements in diet. That's why their ingredient list is so short, and it's made with spices or herbs or fruits or vegetables or organ meat and things like that, or fatty, like oils, fish, whatever it might be, to fulfill those nutrient requirements, which is great because if you can get a food source, the reason why it's so great is because the body will recognize that amino acid or that vitamin or mineral, and it's familiar, and they're like, oh, I can use that. Versus a synthetic ingredient, they're like, it looks kind of funny, and I don't really know what that is, and that's not really what I recognize. So synthetics are not, they're like imitations, okay? If you can go with a whole food source for things, the body already recognizes it because it's real food. Um, I hope that makes sense. So she says, what do you feed your own cats? Well, let's see. I have Darwin's raw food in the freezer. So they eat a lot of Darwin's, and it's chicken, turkey, and beef. I just ordered another batch of elk from Viva Raw. So they have that coming again. And let's see. I'll do some freeze dried stuff from the Simple Food Project, or Boss Cat has great freeze dried options as well as frozen. I have some Tuckers frozen as well that we're trying out. And they come in little 1 ounce packages, which is great. You just unpeel it and put it in the, defrost it and put it in the bowl, mix it up. I also use some foods from Simple Food Project, some freeze dried from them. And we also have some canned on hand for those days when the cats are just like, nope, I'm not eating my raw food because my vibe is low. So things like Roz, that brand, I have some of theirs. Some of the Fussy Cat products that are the goat based in goat's milk or gravy, we have some of those. Because that's what my local pet store carries that I like to support. And sometimes I also have a little bit of Wariva in there. So they get a variety, but mostly it's the raw and, freeze-dried snacks. I love feeding them. They get a lot of the treats from Northwest Naturals. They're freeze-dried single ingredient treats. And so they get those because I can get those here at my local shop too. Sometimes I get them green juju freeze-dried treats. Sometimes I get the Steve's freeze-dried. I kind of get a variety of different things depending on what's available and what kind of in the mood for. If I need to switch up proteins and I want to do something different, that's what I kind of do. So Bonnie says fetching foods is good. Yes, I know your kids love that as well. Okay, what product do you recommend for the omega-3s? There's several really good brands. And here's what I've learned about omega-3s and cat and pets just in general. They don't get enough omega-3s, or their bodies don't absorb enough of their omega-3s. So it has been recommended that if you're going to do you can't really overdo too much omega-3s, okay? Because whatever their body doesn't need, they'll just get rid of. But I feed my cats sardines and water as a supplement, or instead of a supplement, because they just haven't been super crazy about a lot of omega-3s supplements themselves. So I do sardines, but in the past, like the brands, Nordic Naturals has a really good one. I know that Animal Essentials has a good one. It's a fish oil, but it's like a herring and anchovy combo, I think. I carry the Holistic Pet Organics. They have krill and salmon. And then if you want a powdered version, Herbsmith has powdered krill. It's just been freeze-dried and pulverized into powder, so it's easy just to sprinkle into the food. There's so many great options, but you can do both. You can do a little bit of a supplement and sardines. Find something that your cat likes, especially as they get older. They really need to have more of those omega-3s. And if they are sick or have, challenges of some kind, can't do enough omega-3s for sure. Jody says, have you heard anything about Austin and Cat? Bailey's No More Wiggles. I think it's Whiskers. No More Wiggles. Is that what you meant to write? with this, I think it's the Wiggles. I've seen that with CBD. I know that if I were going to do a CBD, it would be a broad spectrum. And Austin and Cat is an excellent brand. So yeah, in fact, I've met Cat from Austin and Cat when she was here in the town that I live in, and she was visiting our local pet store. So she's become like a friend of the owner over there, and they have her products. And so, yeah, Austin Cat is a really good brand that you can trust. They do a lot of, all the third party testing and the guaranteed analysis, whatever that's called. No, what is it called? Some kind of a certificate. I'm drawing a blank at the moment, but yeah, their stuff is really good. So I would definitely recommend them. Bonnie says, I do krill oil and MCT oil. Now, MCT is not really an omega-3. It is a medium chain fatty acid. It has amazing benefits, absolutely. But the krill is more of the where you're going to get more of your EPA and DHA versus your MCT. Spell it, please. Which one? What do you want me to spell, Bonnie? MCT, omega-3s, EPA, and DHA. They're really long words that I probably can't pronounce very well. That's why we use acronyms. What is good to treat the inside of the house for fleas? That's a great question. You can look at something like from Wonderside. They have some good products. I know Flea X by Feline Essential is another really good product. You might need to do a multi-prong approach. There's like putting diatomaceous earth into if you have carpet and let it sit. And there's also they've like some places have, or some people I know have done like salt and diatomaceous earth in the carpet and let it just sit. And then you could spray the Wonderside all over. Flea X, you can like put it in a big spray bottle with like an ounce and fill it up with water. So there's all sorts of really good non-toxic natural ways to treat the inside of your house for fleas. And you know what? If the natural stuff doesn't work, and you've got to control the environment. So if you are doing all of this and they keep coming back, you're going to have to keep retreating like every 3 weeks, just because of the eggs that can get down into the crevices of the carpet or the flooring or the bedding. You're going to have to do your vacuuming every other day. You're going to have to wash the bedding all the time. So it is a project. So pack your patience, but you might have to do it for 2 or 3 months consistently, as far as treating for the fleas. And then the rest of the time, you're just going to have to do all the cleaning. So it can be done, but it can be quite a challenge depending on if you have a really bad infestation or not. Okay, so Bonnie, okay, I know what you're saying. It's the Austin, like Austin, Texas, Austin and Cat, K-A-T. That's the brand, Austin and Cat. Okay, so yes. Let me come back over here. Lucy says, I have been laying off the poultry because of the bird flu. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're fine. No worries. Yeah, you don't need to worry about the bird flu for your cats. The testing that they said was the result of the Northwest Naturals food product that made that cat die was not contaminated by bird flu after all. So it was a big brouhaha, and yeah, you don't have to worry. You can feed your cat the poultry, no problem. Okay, let's see. Rita K. Bush on Instagram. If you go to floppycats.com, my friend Jenny has a really good article on everything she did to get the fleas out of her house. And she'll tell you the products that she used, the methods that she took. God bless her, she treated her yard. She treated the inside the house. She's done it all. So she wrote a really good article about it. I think it might be really helpful if you want to go to floppycats.com and check that out for her. And just, she's also really good. If you have questions, you can email her through her website and she can help you with that as well. All right, over here. Oh, you're welcome, Lucy. Are you, Lucy, have you been buying or not been buying like the frozen chicken, poultry stuff, or was it like canned or what was it? I'm guessing you're asking because it's the fresh. Just curious. But yeah, you're fine. Have you noticed that issue just kind of went away? It's like, you guys notice how things will like come onto the radar and like, oh my God, the world's going to end. And then all of a sudden it just kind of withers and, people stop talking about it. The news stops talking about it. It's like, whatever happened with whatever that situation was. So it's kind of like that. Yeah. It's just interesting, huh? It's like, I guess it's not really an issue. If it's no longer got a bullseye on it, yeah, you just have to. What's the expression that people I follow online? They say, protect your mind and control your emotions. Give things like a 48 to 72 hour rule. Don't have an emotional response or reaction to anything you hear or see. Just step back and observe. Protect your mind, control your emotions, because a lot of stuff you see is meant to trigger you. So you have to ask yourself, why am I feeling the way I'm feeling? Am I being triggered, and why is it upsetting me? So yeah, if you can answer those questions, it might show you kind of where they're trying to sway people to react or be reactive. So just something interesting to think about. She says, yeah, they try to scare the crap out of you. Yeah, that's how they get people to react in fear. When people are afraid, they will do anything. They will stop thinking. They will stop using critical thinking, and they will just do what they're told. So my advice is, don't be that person. Step back, put your critical thinking hat on and ask, why is this happening? Why am I triggered? Protect your mind, control your emotions. Bonnie says, I do novel proteins that are cooling to help with inflammation. Awesome. My guys have itchy ears sometimes. Yes, avoid triggers. We stay calm. Our cats stay calm. Yes. Yes. Sometimes itchy ears can be just environmental sensitivities. Like the molecules in the air right now in your area are sagebrush, maybe some nettle. I'm thinking California because I just worked on a kitty. Sagebrush, nettle, red clover. In some areas right now, it's pussy willow are heavy. So just those little molecules in the air can be irritating and can just cause some histamine release, which is why they scratch and, itch. So yes. Hello, Jennifer from Minnesota. Thank you for joining us. Let us know if you have any questions. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody over here. So Lucy says, yeah, the raw poultry. Yeah, okay. You're good. You're good. Yeah, definitely. So we are almost at the top of the hour. Let's do one more question here. Anybody have anything else before we wrap things up? It's been raining here pretty much off and on all day. And my girls have been so depressed because they couldn't go outside. I have one sitting on the patio right now, just kind of, they want to sit out there in the chairs under the covered part, even though they can't go run around and explore. And I think she's almost ready to come in. So, yeah, but we need the rain. So, well, I hope you guys have a great 4th of July. Protect your mind, control your emotions. Don't watch TV, turn off the TV. That's the best thing you can do. Go entertain yourself on TikTok or something, or Reels, something that makes you laugh, something that raises your vibe, and just keeps you happy, because if your vibe is happy, your cats feel your energy, just like Bonnie was saying. Jody, yes. Do I still have the bunny in the yard? I get bunnies every day. So they come multiple times a day, and they'll just be out there just, eating, moseying around, and the cats just go sit and they'll watch them like it's TV, and the bunny moves and they move and they kind of follow around. Just it's the cutest thing. And the bunny just, is like, I see you guys, and I'm just gonna run over here. And then the cats just kind of walk over there and they sit down and watch him. And they've learned that it's more like this is our friend, because I've been drilling it into their head for months. Like, the bunny is our friend. So don't go after the bunny, just be friendly. And so now they're actually sitting out there and just enjoying watching the bunny. It's really fun. But they haven't tried to hurt it. They'll chase. And the bunny is so funny because the bunny will just run around the yard and stop in different places and just kind of look at the cats like, you can come get me. I don't, it's the funniest thing ever. But they're not trying to be like mean, they're not like trying to go kill it or anything. I think it's just funny maybe they're just having a game of chase and they're just loving it because the bunny can leave at any time. And sometimes most of the time they eventually do go under the fence again, and the cats just sit at the fence and just look through it and they just watch it in another yard or whatever. But yeah, I think it's more of a game now, and I think they all enjoy it. Honestly, it's so fun. She says, thank you for the past 10 years of your service with me and my babies. You're absolutely incredible, and I appreciate you so much. Oh, lots of love to you. And has it been? No, it has not been 10 years, because has it? I don't think it has. I didn't even start my company until 2016. So it's been a while for sure. For sure. Bonnie says, okay, hold on. I missed one of these comments over here. Rita K says, I've been so depressed as one of my cats was killed by my next door neighbors. Oh, a German Shepherd and another feral disappeared. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Oh, I can't imagine. I can't imagine what you went through. Oh my gosh. That's heavy. Yes, I can see why that would be very, very depressing, and so, so sorry. Sending you lots of love. Yeah, if you're having a glass of wine or something, cheers to her kitty cat. My goodness. Mm. Hopefully he is watching over you now and your family and your backyard, and just living his best life on the other side. So gosh, I'm so, so sorry. That's just so heavy. So Jody says, yeah, 9 years. It's been a while for sure. I've learned so much over the last 9 years. That's crazy, right? Um, yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna sign off, you guys, and go get Breeze off the patio. Do a play session. We're gonna have play session. We're gonna have play session tomorrow while the fireworks are going on too. So anyway, lots of love, you guys. Join us for our shows this month. And if you're not on our mailing list, join our mailing list. We don't spam you. We send maybe 1 or 2 emails a week, but mostly just one. It's a newsletter, and you can catch up on the latest and greatest and look at products and services and special offers and new things coming along and events that we're going to be having. So, yeah, so join our mailing list and follow us for sure. Rita says, I was going to take the baby that day to an appointment and adopt it. Oh, okay, well, you guys have a great weekend, a great holiday. Stay safe. Play with your kids, your babies, your fur babies, and we will see you next month for another live Q&A. So thanks, everyone. Take care.